Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to episode 177 of NerdPod Generations. As always, I am one of your illustrious hosts, Steve Taylor, along with the always lovely Al Judson, who is well groomed today because it's after Halloween.
Yeah, I cut it all off. Hello, friends and enemies.
You look very coiffed.
Yes,
very nice.
I cut it all off. I was in the shower for about an hour.
I believe it.
Getting all the green out of my beard and hair.
Oh, my God.
And I got to say, after all that, the costume didn't turn out the way that I wanted it to. So I haven't posted any pictures because I'm not like super proud of it.
Where did you go with this costume?
Nowhere. I was just here.
I was just here
doing
candy?
Yeah. Which we didn't even hand out that much candy. We pretty much had to find neighborhood kids and ask them to come by and get candy. Yeah. That also didn't help. Yeah. That didn't help. I'll tell you.
I gotta say, my kids now. I was severely against them going out because they both had little colds. Mm-hmm. But my sister-in-law and her kids came over, and so we're like, listen, they can go out for a little bit. But after a couple years of In the Rain, I refused. So I said, I will follow you in the car. Mm-hmm. So I was in our little electric car with my seats all heated, sitting there all toasty watching them. And I'm like, you can climb in anytime you want. Yeah. And then halfway through, they climbed in. And I'm like, oh, God, it's awesome.
Yeah. No, it's one of those, I remember those Halloweens as a kid where you're like, this is my one chance. I don't get to do this again until next year. I'm not waiting until next year to do this because it might rain again. So I guess I'm just going to go and tough it out. And then inevitably the parents after 20 minutes are like, are you sure? And the kids are like, I'm done. Yeah. I don't want to do this anymore.
And especially because the next day I went to Wegmans and I bought $26 worth of half-price candy.
Exactly.
It's all good stuff, too. I'm like, here you go, kids. You didn't need to go trick-or-treating.
We should set up some kind of like haunted house trick-or-treating crossover kind of thing.
That would be awesome.
Where the ghosts come out and scare you, and then they give you a candy bar.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
Yeah,
I'm okay with that. So, folks, NerdPod Generations 177, meaning there are 176 previous episodes of Pure Gold. So if this is your first time listening, please go back and listen to the back catalog, and you can find us at nerdpodgen.com. That is nerdpodgen.com. On the website, there is a link on the homepage to our most recent episode. At the bottom of the homepage, there is actually a link to YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and then there are different pages for each one of us so you can see what our beautiful faces look like and have a little understanding of what we do outside of here on the creative side, because Lord knows the work side sucks the life from us. So
yeah, you don't want to hear about the work side.
No.
The work side is just like any water cooler bullshit.
Yeah.
It's just like, it's me and Steve talking about like, oh, you have a cubicle? I never had a cubicle. Like, that's work. And it's
pretty much work.
It's terrible.
And
nobody wants to. I at the risk of being kind of shunned, I am not a tryhard. And in an office full of tryhards, I look around and I'm just like, okay, y'all give yourself shout-outs when you finish jobs, right? That's the only reason we have 20 minutes of shout-outs during some of these meetings is because you turn around and you pat yourself on the back so that then we can all do it publicly for you, too.
Those meetings are the worst.
Oh, my God.
They're the worst.
I'm just sitting there like, we are going through stuff at work that would be good to talk about, but I guess we're not going to do that. And also, I'm a little jaded because I've never gotten a shout out after working for this company for 10 years. Even when it was my 10-year anniversary, they left me off the 10-year anniversary list. And I was just like, oh, fuck all you guys.
And that's where the politics of shit really shines.
Yeah, I don't pat myself on the back publicly enough. Yeah. I need to go out and be like, hey, did you all look at the good job that I did? And I'm not going to do that.
Yeah. I used to walk around with a sign that said, I used to be perfect, but I'm way too conceited for that now.
Yeah.
So let me move on, folks. We need to move on to Watch, Play, Read, because this is, I know it is technically after Halloween we're recording this, but this is the final week of Halloween Havoc 2025.
Some of us are in denial about Christmas. Some of us are very excited for Christmas, and I love some of those people, and congratulations to them, and you made it, and I'm so happy for you. I am not done with Halloween, and I will be dragging its corpse through the streets like fucking Hector.
Yeah, well, especially next week, we're probably going to be reviewing Frankenstein. It comes out on the 7th. So that's
and we're going to be reviewing weapons today.
Be an unofficial Halloween next week.
Yeah.
But so Watch, Play, Read, I am going to be starting. I want to do a quick shout out. We, as a family, watched Free Guy.
Yeah.
And love that movie. I think I talked about it last week.
You mentioned it last week.
I've been thinking about it more and more, and I really love that movie, and I can't stress enough, people, please watch it. I've been going back and showing my kids some older movies. I told you we watched the Simpsons movie, which was fun. The big one, though, is I finally showed my son The Monster Squad. which was a moment I've been waiting for because it
Yeah.
was my favorite kids movie growing up. I
Yeah.
absolutely love it. Still holds up. Still love it. You could tell he liked it and he laughed a lot. A lot of the 80s references definitely went way over his head. And, there's some cringy, they use a lot of homosexual slurs, let's say, in that movie. But it's, once again, it's the way kids talk back then.
It's of its era.
Very much of its era. Watching that little girl call them all chicken shit was hysterical.
Yep.
And he did laugh like a little toddler when they said kick the Wolfman in the nards, which made me so proud.
That's the only thing that's important, really. That's the biggest thing.
Wolfman has nards is really just... And then the virgin thing, too, at the end was awesome. Steve, he doesn't count. Yeah. So I finally showed him that. Highly recommend if you haven't seen that movie, especially if you're from the 80s and have a love of that decade. It is so quintessentially an 80s movie. And it's written by the guy that wrote Lethal Weapon and Predator. So
I was about to say Shane Black.
Shane Black.
Yeah,
he was a co-writer on it. So
yeah. No, and when Shane Black arrives, there's always going to be that kind of humor.
Yes.
Like that's a tent pole.
Yes, very much.
He's literally the guy in Predator saying dirty jokes in the helicopter. That's literally him.
Yeah.
So like that's his whole bag, man.
He's good at it.
Yeah. If you've got a talent,
movies,
Hey, he's okay at directing movies sometimes, and sometimes he's very bad at it.
Recently, he's not the best.
Yeah. I like what's that movie called with Russell Crowe and Ryan Gosling?
Oh, The Other Guys.
The Other Guys.
Oh, no. That's not The Other Guys. It's The Nice Guys?
The Nice Guys.
Yeah.
It is The Nice Guys.
And then he did Kiss Kiss Bang Bang.
He did do Kiss Kiss Bang Bang.
We will give him a pass on those. Those are really good.
On occasion, he hits one.
Yes.
But
then he does The Predator. And then
you have a problem, yeah.
So I do want to move on real quick. Once again, my watch play reads have been very video game centric the last 3 weeks, which I don't know how this has happened. I think I might have played my game of the year.
Is it Fortnite: The New Horizon?
No. It is called Ball X Pit.
Okay.
Or some people just refer to it as Ball Pit. Mm-hmm. It is an indie. It was one of these ones made by like 3 people. It's an indie game. It's so hard. It's so interesting and hard to explain. It's only like $15, so I highly recommend everyone go out and buy it. You are a character. It's this giant ball from space destroys Babylon City, and you go to mine the remnants, but there's all these like demons down there.
Oh.
So when you are in like battle mode, it's like Breakout, the old Atari game Breakout, because there are these different blocks of enemies. And they all have different like skeletons or whatnot on them. Some are bigger, so they take more damage. But they're coming down in a line, and you have a large ball, and then you have these small ones. They call them baby balls. The large ball you can upgrade. As you're knocking out enemies, they drop these little gems. You absorb them, and then you can upgrade. And there's like an ice ball, a fireball. There's one that's a ghost that goes through the enemies and then gets onto the backside. And the faster the balls are hitting, the more damage they do because they speed up. So if you can get them onto the back, they'll start breaking shit up. And then there are these jewels you get that help that you can either upgrade all your balls or you can merge a couple of them into like a super different thing. You unlock characters in it. You unlock houses because it's a very difficult... It took me 6 tries to beat the first run because you're leveling up your character. It's like you're grinding. So I know, what do they call them? A roguelike. It's a roguelike.
Yes.
But it's Breakout, which is weird because you get the ball behind and you see them like bouncing and knocking all the enemies. But in between those matches, you go back to your home base and then it's a building sim where you build farms and forests and houses and different armories. And when you get the ability to build new shelters is where you can unlock new characters that have different abilities. But when you are going to like harvest wheat or harvest wood or ore, and all of these are used to not only expand your home base but to improve your character. So like you have these little guys walking around and you shoot them where you need to go. They can't go past houses. So if you aim where you're going to shoot them just right, they will bounce like the balls in the game, and they'll do all of the stuff you need. unbelievably addictive.
Is this a Switch game or is this?
It's on. I think it's everywhere, but I got it on Switch 2, and it's perfect on Switch 2. Once again, it's $15, so it's not much. I believe it was like a couple people made this game, so the graphics are very rudimentary.
Oh yeah,
but holy crap, it's so much fun.
Stylized, Steve.
Very
the graphics are stylized.
I tell you, you will get addicted to this game because it is one of those ones where you're like, I can't believe I didn't beat. I'm just gonna try it one more time.
Yeah.
And then it's 2 hours late, and you're like, fuck.
Yeah. That was me with several of the mini games in Ghost of Yotei of just like, oh, this is simple. I can get this, and then you're just there for hours.
But then I watched the video on it, and the depth that you go into as far as what balls do you merge. Do you skip merging them for a time being until you can get a different one that you can merge? And then each of the larger balls have a different impact depending on your player. It's so in-depth and insane, but it's so much fucking fun. So I highly, highly, highly recommend Ball X Pit.
Yeah.
Is how it shows, and it's fucking awesome. For $15, you cannot beat this game.
Third-party games are the treasure of the current gaming landscape. Because as much as I finished Ghosts of Yotei, I'll talk about it a little bit during my section, but as much as I love a game like that, where it's just broad and huge and beautiful and all this other stuff, third-party games that are $20 or less are like the thing that actually keeps systems running. And having a good backlog of those is so important.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
So important. Like, a lot of the Switch games that we played weren't necessarily Nintendo games. It was stuff like Donut Country or Trombone Champ or other things, So it's having a good backlog of off-brand games. Good idea.
Well, the 2 highest rated games on the Switch 2 right now are Ball Pit X and Hades 2, which are both indies. Because Hades 2 is only like, I think it's $20.
Yeah.
It's not much.
Yeah.
So it's crazy. So we will move on to one more game, which is going to be the bridge between our 2 Watch Play Read segments.
Yeah.
There was a big surprise update for Animal Crossing New Horizons.
Like a big surprise.
So Animal Crossing New Horizons has done what we were saying they should have done with Mario Kart and all the Madden games.
Yes.
And they're saying, hey, you know what? We have a really good core, so we're just going to build around it. And holy shit, did they build around it.
Like, I am all at once impressed, excited, and where the fuck has this been?
Yeah.
Because, like, I love everything that's coming. I'm really excited for everything that they're pitching. I think it's all really fun, interesting stuff that I've wanted to see. Why wasn't this around 2 years ago?
Well, if you remember the last update, they said there will be no more
DLC
and updates. I think they looked at their game and tried to build a new one and said, you know what? Let's just build onto the one we have because the new one won't be that big an upgrade.
I honestly don't know if Nintendo wants Animal Crossing to succeed. Not to say that they aren't putting effort into it, but the way that they're going about it has been so ass backwards throughout the entire process. Of like, it's this huge hit in 2020. Everybody loves it because everybody's stuck inside, and it's a game that allows for all these different mechanics and hourly play you can get into.
It's 40 million sold.
It was an enormous success. Like and then the next year they came out with updates, and then a few years later they were like, "Oh, we're done with this thing. Nobody cares." And it's like, no, people still care. People are still deeply into this. Nah, nobody cares. Nintendo says nobody cares, and so they just drop it and they say, "We're done. We're moving on," and then. You have 2 Kirby Air Rider Directs. You have a Pokemon Direct. You have like 3 regular Nintendo Directs, all for the Switch 2.
Yeah.
None of them mention anything about Animal Crossing. This drops on some random Thursday at 2 p.m. And you're just left being like, Nintendo, what the actual fuck is going on?
They've always been out of their mind. And this is just another example.
But I'm just saying, like, you have 2 Kirby Air Rider Directs. Yeah. You have a Pokemon ZA Direct, which is for a game that sucks shit. Yep. All right, I'm pretty confident in saying that it's not a good game. Playable, sure. Good, no. Why, when you know that there has been a groundswell for people that love Animal Crossing, this is one of your tentpole brands, why do it this way? I'm super happy about everything that's in this game. Why do it this way? It's like you want it to fail.
I tell you, I think I'm almost wondering if they had it planned as a successor saw the reaction to Mario Kart World,
Yeah.
and decided, why don't we just take some of the stuff we were doing and just do it as DLC and slowly roll it out into the old one?
Yeah.
Which, once again, is what I've been asking for Madden and all these other games
Yeah.
for forever. So I was ecstatic to see that.
Just give me the new roster. Allow me to download
Yeah.
the new roster for $5. I don't need
Exactly.
anything else.
But especially, the meaty part of this is free,
Yeah.
which is nuts.
Yeah.
This is awesome.
I'm also curious to see how much the Switch 2 upgrade costs.
I would assume it'd be in the $10 range, same as the Zelda one.
I'm worried it's going to be a little bit more expensive, if for nothing else, because Nintendo sometimes does that,
Yeah.
where it's just mysteriously, and they don't seem to want this to succeed.
But here's the thing I'll tell you. I have not touched Animal Crossing for 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
And Gemma and I, my daughter Gemma and I, had created a island called Buttopia.
Mm-hmm.
And she actually bought me a coffee mug that's Animal Crossing. It says Buttopia on it for
Excellent.
Father's Day. Somehow our save got deleted.
Okay.
So I'm like, crap. So I brought it over to the Switch 2 and started a new Buttopia the other day. It runs so much better on
Yeah.
Switch 2. It is so fast.
Yeah.
The load times are almost nothing. It's awesome.
Like, even in the Direct, they're like, hey, look how much better this shit looks on Switch 2.
But this is without the Switch 2 update.
Yeah.
This is just running the native Switch game on it. It's
Yeah.
so much better.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm very curious.
I'm super pumped. I love this idea of that there's now going to be voice chat.
Yes.
The camera chat, I don't care as much about, because it's, as I joked to Kelly, it's like you would need vaudevillian, mugging to camera levels of emotion to really get, like, to make that make anything. It's just this little bubble with a person's face over it. It looks like shit. And I'm sure it's going to affect the runtime on everything, because I appreciate the notion, Nintendo. I just don't think you have the hardware to run this horse. But I love the voice chat. I think that's something that the game
awesome.
desperately needed. Yep. I love the look of it. I love all the new elements that they're adding. I just kind of feel like Nintendo is, I don't know if it's embarrassed or what, but they just don't seem to be embracing Animal Crossing in a meaningful way like they do literally all their other brands. And so I'm hyped. I think all the stuff that's coming to New Horizons just in general, not just necessarily the Switch 2 version. I think that is the stuff
Zelda
that's
gear
huge.
looks awesome.
The Zelda gear, the fact that you can now have 4 islands.
Yes.
That's enormous. The fact that you can have your friends help decorate your islands. That's enormous.
Yep.
The stuff with Cap'n. That looks great.
That looks amazing.
So, like, the fact that you can get Nintendo systems and each has a dedicated game that you can play in Animal Crossing. That's fucking dope.
People have been asking that since GameCube, because that was the big GameCube
Where
thing.
has this been?
Yeah.
Where has this been? I'm for every moment where I'm like, that looks fucking great, I can't wait to see this, I'm also left being like, but where has this fucking been? Kelly brought up the very astute point. Why didn't this drop with the Switch 2 launch? Why wasn't this announced with the Switch 2 launch? People have been complaining all year about there not being enough Switch 2 content. Why wasn't this brought up earlier? If this was something that you had in your back pocket, this is clearly not like one of those, like, it'll get done when it gets done. It's pretty much done. It's going to launch next year for some reason, and I'm just left being like, why?
This is where I stand by. I think they were planning on having this be a sequel.
Yeah.
And they made a quick course correction.
Yeah.
Showed you some of the build, and they're between now and January, they're going to just motor it to get it transferred over to the OG Switch.
Maybe.
Well, I'm assuming the free stuff was always going to be offered to the Switch. Mm-hmm. But now they're doing the Switch 2 upgrade, because you're right. It's for a game that has sold 40 million and has become big in pop culture with stuffies and everything. I can't see them, because one thing Nintendo loves is money.
Exactly.
And the whole reason why they haven't had the systems with the video games like they did with the GameCube is because for the Wii and the 3DS and the Wii U, they could upcharge you for those games, so they don't want to give them to you for free. And here, if you remember, they say you have to have an online account, with Nintendo to get it, meaning you already have access to those games. They're just going to make it so you have access to them in the game.
Yeah.
So, they love money. And I think they really saw the writing on the wall with Donkey Kong. Just not Donkey Kong, Mario Kart.
Yeah.
They saw the reaction to it, which I have been watching more and more YouTube where guys are like, yeah, look on my Switch here. It has Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. I don't even play World. It's not even anywhere near it. And I think they saw that and said, fuck it. We can just do an update and get 20, let's say the update's $20. Get $20 a person. Fucking save a ton of money on shipping a new game and all that. We're good.
See, this is like, I'd be very curious. I'd love to see a documentary
behind the scenes
about what the process is at Nintendo, because there are just so many moments where you're kind of left wondering, like, how is this the plan?
Yeah,
this is the whole plan. I go back to ZNA and Violet, and we're going to sue Pow World for $50 million, but also limit the budget of our billion-dollar industry to $13 million.
Yeah.
What is the thought process here? What is any of this? This doesn't make any sense. Who would go about things this way, knowingly, when you have... Like, I get it. Okay, I get it. On the one hand, you're Nintendo. You have so much credit in the bank. Look at Pokemon. Pokemon is the perfect example. You have so much credit in the bank, you don't have to try, and people will still eat your slop.
Yeah.
Right? But, like, I don't know, maybe this is the idealist in me. Don't you not want to make slop? Like, don't you not want to make slop? Don't you want to make something good that continues to propagate your credit instead of draining your credit and being like, well, we just didn't really want to try on this one. We put in our effort. We thought it was good, but ultimately we didn't care. And I know they'll never say that they don't care, but the product that they're releasing says that they don't care.
I do want to make an amendment to last week, and I do apologize. I was incorrect when I said Pokemon will go elsewhere. I forgot Nintendo was a third owner in the Pokemon company.
Yeah.
So it's never going anywhere.
No.
But that does put the emphasis on Nintendo with the Pokemon games, saying, dude, you own Monolith Soft. Monolith Soft has been able to take Switch 1 and put just miraculous games on it with the Xenoblade Chronicles series.
Yeah.
You can't tell me that you can't tell Monolith Soft, listen, you need to go help them on this next one.
Something, anything. Like, I don't know what I at some point it becomes, and I think this is like kind of the nature of my entire argument. At some point it becomes damning. You know, you can say whatever you want to say, but in this 21st century life, we've all learned that you ignore what someone says and you look at what they do.
Yep.
Who cares what they say? They can say whatever they want. Look at what they do. And I'm just looking at the Nintendo Pokemon division, and I'm looking at Animal Crossing, and I'm looking at how they go about these things, and I'm saying, you can say whatever you want to me, but your actions tell me that in some regards you don't care. You don't care about Animal Crossing. I don't know why, but the way that you've gone about everything tells me that you don't care, or you don't think that this is going to be successful, or that there's not an audience for it, or something. That the audience market from the pandemic has dried up, and there's just no one left who cares about Animal Crossing. No. No. I can tell you that's not true. It may be dormant.
Yeah, it's not going to sell in the numbers it did during the
pandemic. But
you'll still sell 20
You'll
million.
still sell a ton.
Yeah.
And if you put stuff in, you'll get stuff out.
Yep.
You know, it's almost like you stopped doing updates for the game and then your fan base dried out because you stopped giving them anything, but you kept putting it into the mobile game. The mobile game still had tons of fucking content. It's just that you didn't put that into the base game for whatever reason. Oh, wait, I know the reason. It's money. Because in the base game, you can't charge people like you can in the mobile game. You have a lot more credibility to be able to charge people in the mobile game because people know that's what a mobile game is for. So you kept pumping stuff into there because it was a source of revenue, but you didn't care enough to put any of those things into the base game. So that's an enormous problem. And then you do this where you're just going to announce it on a Thursday afternoon. Like it's not a big deal. If you act like it's not a big deal, then people will react to it like it's not a big deal.
Yeah.
You know, like you got to do better than this, son. You got to make a better Pokemon game than this. And you got to be better about promoting your product than this.
Which I am curious on the direction of Nintendo in the next few years, because it's widely known that there's a generational shift going on in the hierarchy in Nintendo. Mm-hmm. And I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Because it seems like the old guard, they loved money, but they always like to put out
a good product.
A good product, where the new one might be like, we like money and we don't give a fuck what quality it is.
Where Nintendo, people eat our slop.
Exactly. Adults still consider the name Nintendo to be all video games.
Yeah. So this is all to say that welcome to our new recurring segment, Nintendos and Nintendonts.
Yes.
Because I'm sure we're going to have even more to talk about with Nintendo in the future. It's just funny that it's happened 3 weeks in a row.
Yeah. And it'll probably continue.
Yeah. I mean, like, as more stuff for the Switch 2 comes out and they try and do more things.
Because next week is the new Zelda game.
Yes.
And then in a month is Metroid. I think it's a month from this Friday.
Yeah, because it's before Christmas.
Yeah.
So
we got a lot coming.
There's
and
Air
Riders, too.
Air Riders. I'll be very curious to see what they do next year, because I don't feel like they can do, like, I always feel bad that this is the lob that I always throw out there, but it's the one that's most applicable to me. I don't feel like if you came out and you were like, we have a new Pikmin and we have a new Splatoon, I don't think that's going to move the arrow.
No.
So I wonder what they're going to do.
They have to spike the football. It's Zelda's 40th anniversary. Yeah. They have to have a massive Zelda presence.
This is something that we didn't discuss, because we did discuss the Zelda anniversary, but we didn't bring this up, and I thought about it while I was editing the show.
Okay.
Is this the time to do a full remaster of Ocarina of Time?
There has been a lot of discussion that that's what's happening.
And like do a double up where it's Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask, and they don't look like shit anymore.
See, I'll be honest. I was of an age when those games came out that I wasn't playing video games a lot, and when I did, it was mainly sports, because I think I was already in the Marines out of high school and all that. I never been in love with Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask, mainly because I go back to play them now, and the jankiness is very off-putting. So for me to be excited about that, it wouldn't have to be a remaster. It would have to be a full-on remake. Like, you would have to remake them in a style of either like a Breath of the Wild style, or even like Wind Waker style, like something. You need to upgrade it and update the visuals.
Well, I think, in my opinion, I think that's what they should do, is to basically fix the visuals.
Yeah.
You can, if you want to keep the art style, you can. I don't think that it was a particularly dynamic art style.
No.
You know, we talked about the creepiness of Twilight Princess, and it begins with Ocarina of Time. If you look at some of the faces in Ocarina of Time, there's that element of polygons, absolutely. But there's also an element of, man, these people look fucking weird.
Yeah.
They look fucking weird. Every single one of them looks fucking weird. And polygons or not, they look weird. You know, it's like, we can talk about Zelda having flappy hands all day. That's not what I'm worried about. What I'm worried about is the construction guy in the village who screams at you and has a giant bullfrog mouth. That's the part I'm concerned with.
Yeah.
So I'd be very curious. It is not by any regards a pretty game to look at. Neither of them are. They are both very ugly, and even when you take the polygons out of it, they're still not appealing to look at.
I even tried the 3DS remakes of both, and it still was too janky.
Yeah.
Like, I think I'm past that generation. Like, I can't go back and play a N64 or a PS1 game anymore, because as much of a leap in control was for those games, the graphics do not age.
No, exactly. So
I think
if you keep, I wouldn't even say keep all the mechanics. Keep some of the mechanics. Give the other mechanics an update. You know, let's not forget this is the era of the C-stick and this is before the C-stick. This is the C buttons.
C buttons.
So like
you got to have a jump button.
You got to have a jump button.
I cannot play a Zelda game now without a jump button.
Yeah.
It would drive me out of my fucking mind.
Yeah. So
unless it's a top down, that's a different story.
Yeah.
But if it's a straight on 3D, it's got to have a fucking jump
Yeah,
mode.
so I think that would be the most interesting thing, especially if you combine the games in some way.
Ooh.
So, like, you had to get the bad ending in Ocarina of Time in order to play Majora's Mask, but then you would roll right into Majora's Mask after getting the bad ending in Ocarina of Time. That'd be really interesting. That'd be a really interesting thing. And then you would have to update a bunch of it because you can't have all the same townspeople from Hyrule suddenly in Termina. It wouldn't make any sense. It made sense at the time because it was just like, we're going to take all of the properties from one and we're just going to port them over to the other one and we're not going to worry about it. Now you would have to worry about it. So I think that would be really interesting and give that game a chance to not be sinfully ugly. Like there's no good way to put it. Those games look like trash.
Oh, they look horrible.
And even when you run them through an engine to flatten everything out and smooth it and make it look better, it still looks bad. It's not as bad, but it's not good. Nobody would put this up as a screensaver on their computer without some kind of foreknowledge of why. You know, there would have to be some nostalgia context in order to be like, yes, I love this and I love the way it looks. No one is looking at this and saying, this looks great.
And I think that's something that not only Nintendo but PlayStation is missing out on. Well, PlayStation kind of did with Final Fantasy VII Remake. They should take games from that genre, that era, like even Super Mario 64.
Yes.
Redo the graphics to modern time, and they would sell a ton of them.
I don't know why you're not doing it. It doesn't make any sense to me. Because everybody's playing them on emulators. Nobody's playing them on something else. They're all playing them on emulators. Yeah. So, like, why not make them look good? Why not spruce it up a little bit?
Exactly.
You know, give yourself a chance to get some breath, get some feet under you, so you can come up with a new Zelda thing without having to feel like you need to cram it out in the next 2 years because Tears of the Kingdom was somehow already 2.5 years ago.
Yeah.
And I just, like, I don't know, man. I think you just got to do better. I think you have opportunities to do cool things here. Make a new Pokemon Stadium game. Why are we making Z to A? If you're going to have it all take place in one city, then just make Pokemon Stadium, man.
Seriously.
Like, that doesn't make any fucking sense to me. You can put a story mode in Pokemon Stadium and have it take place in one city, and we would all be like, oh, it's a Pokemon Stadium game, and it has a story mode. But because you didn't do that, now you have this redheaded stepchild over here that we're just going to throw on the pile with the other redheaded stepchildren.
Yeah.
And you're just like, I hope the Ditto game is better. I don't know, because you kind of fuck this shit up sometimes. I don't know. I want it to be good. I want to be excited about it. But sometimes you genuinely fuck this shit up.
Yeah.
And then I look at fucking Stardew Valley, and I'm just left screaming like Obadiah Stane, Tony Stark built this in a cave with a box of scraps. Yep. And all of Nintendo is like, well, I'm not Tony Stark. And it's like, well, then maybe you should be. Maybe you should be.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's my best advice. Be better.
That's the funny part with Nintendo. In a lot of their games, they are Tony fucking Stark.
Yeah.
It's just the ones that they don't decide to put the money or time into that they're not. And it's like,
I don't get it, man.
I don't get it.